Hi, my name's Sofia Ortiz, and I'm a 2024 Women's State Placer. I got recruited by these two guys during my driver's ed class. They told me that they were starting a new women's program here at the school, and I really wanted to be part of something new and a sport because I had never really been part of a team before, and I thought it would be a great opportunity.
I actually didn't like her. I was not a fan. She came into the first couple of practices and she kind of goofed off, and she was definitely the one that when she got double-legged, she would kind of fall over giggling. And for me, this was my first introduction to women's wrestling, and I kind of was like, all right, what is this? So it was a little bit of an adjustment, and it took a second for me and her, but she really quickly picked up on that it was something that she really enjoyed doing. A switch flipped for her, and when that switch flipped, it was go time, and I saw it in her, and I saw that she really wanted to be good and get better, and I bought all in myself.
During the season, obviously I went into practice with having a goal in mind every time. I always emphasized working hard and going into practice and kind of like having that friendly competition with my teammates, like, oh, I'm gonna do better in this, or I'm gonna run faster.
There's been plenty of times where I've seen Sofia, beat the guys in sprints, take the guys down at practice, and I think that just shows that it doesn't matter if she's a women's athlete. She's gonna work hard every day to show that she's the hardest worker in the room.
Wrestling for me was way harder mentally during the season than it was physically. I think people kind of think about wrestling like, oh, it's just your body, like you should be really in shape or fit, or you should be strong and like work your conditioning, this and that. But a huge part of it is just mental, not only connecting your body with your mind and how you're performing out on the mat, but also like your thoughts. That really it really affects your performance. You know what I mean? Like you have to have good thoughts. You have to be able to calm your body, calm your mind. I was always very shaky before my matches. I was always very anxious, and that would show in my performance, and also led to a lot of my losses as well. It just wasn't healthy, honestly, and led to me having kind of like a bad relationship with the sport, just because I was making myself, feel bad and not enjoy it as much. But as the season progressed, I really learned to just accept my losses and learn from them and use that to progress myself and, elevate myself to the next level. Going into regionals, I really emphasized knowing my goals and what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted out of it. I knew I didn't want to regret my performance at regionals. I knew I wanted to be happy and content with how I performed, which meant, qualifying for state. A week or two before region, I started just visualizing myself winning, visualizing myself, shaking my opponent's hand and winning the match and getting my hand raised at the end of it. I visualized, pushing through, because I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew I was going to be tired. I knew it was going to, so at the end of the day, it's whoever wanted it the most, and that was me. Like, I was going to qualify for state, regardless.
Seeing her knock off one of the girls from Union Pines and Jack Britt, like, just seeing Sofia have this I don't care attitude, and she went out there and beat both of those girls. And as a coach, it was just exciting to see. I think I jumped out of my chair and my feet were in the air.
Securing a spot to state was like, I felt like I was on top of the world, because I never would have imagined that I was gonna make it that far into the sport with it being my first year. I remember I headlocked the girl, and I just remember my mom just like screaming, "Yes, Sophie, go, Sophie!" And everyone just, cheering for me. And I remember like having that headlock and like trying to fix my position so she would get pinned and they would call it and I would qualify. But I felt like I was on top of the world. I was so happy. I was so excited. Like I was like, I'm going to Greensboro. I'm going to state. Like, this is insane. Pre-state, I told myself I had to lock in. I became very serious in my training. It was stressful, but it was like what had to be done for me to be at my peak during state. I had a lot of coaches in my corner during that time period, like Chapel Hill, Also Green Hope and the Raw coaches, like everyone was there supporting me and making sure that I was ready. It felt great being part of the state's first ever sanctioned women's tournament. It felt great to be among like the best in the state. Like, it was such a elevating feeling being in the room with such amazing girls who also have put in the work and, you know, earned their spot to be there.
She went into the state tournament seeded number 4 in her region. So in her quad, it was actually the last seed. So she got, in the first round, she got a region champ. And that's always a scary task. And the girl had a good record, and I'd looked into her a little bit and knew that she was a good wrestler, and Sofia really didn't care. And we walked out there to wrestle that first match, and it could have been anybody, and she wouldn't have cared. And she went out there and dominated.
My family support meant everything to me, and it always has, especially during the season, especially my mom. She's always been my biggest supporter and my biggest fan, always cheering me on and screaming my name, and you know. But I remember stepping onto the mat for my first match during state, and I see her above the railing right there with my sister, and you know, I blew her a kiss, and that really got me ready for the match. It got me hyped up, and I was like, I'm gonna win this for my mom. Like, I'm gonna make her proud, you know. And just her support means absolutely everything to me, and her hugs when I lose, or her hugs when I win, you know, it's always the same. Always cheers me up. It was a roller coaster of emotions when I secured my place on the podium. It was a really hard match physically. I was exhausted, I was muffled up, and it was an overtime match. So it was whoever got the first takedown. As soon as I heard that whistle, I went for that double. I got the takedown, and I was honestly so physically exhausted. I like couldn't process it in the moment. I was like trying to shake her hand and like just trying to breathe, you know? But it felt amazing. Like, I felt like I really achieved my goals.
And that's there's not a whole lot of words to describe the feeling when one of your kids gets on the podium at the state tournament.
As soon as the ref blew the whistle, Sofia shot her shot and she took the girl down. And you know, as a coach, again, it's just straight emotion at that point, understanding that, wow, I'm about to cry about Sofia. Never thought that would happen.
In that moment, you get to watch and see them achieve their goal, and you know, everything that's going through your mind is just all the things that they've done to achieve that goal. And you know, the hard work that they put in the whole year, the weight cutting, the extra club practices, the sprints, the grinding at practice, the asking how to be better, and you know, everything kind of culminates in that one moment. To see her get her hand raised and know that we had achieved that goal was super special.
I felt amazing, surpassing my own expectations, especially like seeing my coaches and my mom and my family, just everyone be proud of me in that moment. It felt amazing.
All right, it's Sofia's last season. What are you most excited to see?
I'm most excited to see her absolutely dominate girls next season. I think she has shown that she has the capability of doing it, and I'm excited to watch it. I'm also excited to see her win a state title.
I'm super excited for her last season. Just seeing what happened in her first year wrestling. You know, I saw the jumps that she made in just year 1, so I can't wait to see this year. If year 1 is any kind of a marker for what year 2 is going to be, then she's going to dominate, and it's going to be a really fun year.
For my last season here at Panther Creek, I want to set as many records as I can and then go and break those records during the season. I envision myself being extremely just dominant on the mat, dogging everyone. I want everyone to know my name. I want everyone to be scared of me when they step onto the mat. Like, I want to be aggressive. I want to be, you know, setting the pace the entire time. I want to feel exhausted after every single match. And I envision myself being state champ and achieving everything that I did this year, but better. I'd like to thank my coaches, my family, my friends. I feel like, especially my teammates, they have made the season so fun, and I have been very fortunate to have very nice and hardworking teammates as well. You know, wrestling isn't all about just wrestling. It's also about like the home that you create with your teammates and your coaches and all of those relationships. And I think I've been very blessed to have the people on my team and those coaches helping me and supporting me the entire time during the season. I feel like I've never felt their lack of support, and they've really pushed me to become what I am now.
She competed fearlessly and really like showed everybody else, you know, what it means to be a women's wrestler. And she set a standard in our program that, you know, right off the bat, she showed everybody else that, you know, it can be done here. You can get on the podium here. Sky's the limit. She's a big reason for that.
I want PC to be known as a women's wrestling powerhouse. I want it to be known as the best in the state, and I'm going to contribute to that, and I'm going to build that environment on the team. For the future women's wrestlers of Panther Creek, I want to show that your goals are definitely achievable, especially here at Panther Creek and with the coaches that we have and the team and the support and the wrestlers that we have on the team. Every single goal in your mind is achievable. I want to set the legacy of, you know, a hard-working team. I want to have multiple state placers, state champs. Like, I just want to build a strong, hard-working, you know, welcoming environment for our future wrestlers.